Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Asia Clean Energy Forum 2017. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Priyantha Wijayatunga, the chair of the Asia Clean Energy Forum 2017. I am with the Asian Development Bank. The theme of this year's forum, the future is here, achieving universal access and climate targets. We are already in the period of fourth industrial revolution, where innovations are happening at an exponential speed, unprecedented in the history. Achieving universal access and climate targets is strongly coupled with this fourth industrial revolution. This involves disruptive technologies, changing the whole landscape of the energy sector and the associated infrastructure which it relies on. We have discussed many facets of this change during the last 1.5 days of deep dive workshops. And now we are looking forward to the continuation of these interesting discussions and the debate during the next coming 2.5 days of the main forum. With that short summary, let me now invite the Director General of the Sustainable Development and Climate Change Department, Ms. Carmela Locsin, to the podium to formally open the forum. Madam.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the Asian Development Bank and our co-sponsors, the United States Agency for International Development and the Korean Energy Agency, a warm welcome to our 12th Asia Clean Energy Forum. Joining us at this afternoon's opening plenary are Asian Development Bank President Takehiko Nakao, United States Agency for International Development Mission Director for Pakistan, Jerry Bisson, Korea Energy Agency President Nam-Hoon Kang, and our two keynote speakers, World Bank Global Lead and Practice Manager for Energy and Extractives, Vivian Foster, and last but not least, International Energy Agency Deputy Executive Director, Paul Simons. We are pleased to see over 1,500 participants across 63 countries join us today. Many of you have traveled far to be with us. We appreciate your time and your energy. We're excited about the conversations that will take place here today and in the few days ahead. We are fortunate to be joined by key leaders, thinkers, and innovators in the front line of clean energy development worldwide. We hope these exchanges will cultivate new understandings and business models that will accelerate the creation and use of clean energy technology, expand clean energy partnerships, and ultimately increase access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all, as called for by Sustainable Development Goal 7. I want to especially thank those of you, many of you, who have supported this forum over the years and have helped us to foster vital breakthroughs in response to clean energy financing, policymaking, and knowledge creation and exchange. These breakthroughs have galvanized the clean energy sector's growth, not just in Asia, but in the rest of the world. Helping our client countries navigate the complexities in policymaking, in financing, in the deployment of advanced clean technologies is very much at the heart of ADB's commitment to clean energy development. In 2016, our clean energy investments reached $2.1 billion, putting us on track to reaching our climate finance targets. And beyond financing, we have helped to close the knowledge and technology gaps that exist between our client countries' appetite for clean energy and their ability to support it. By facilitating the adoption of cleaner technology in early-stage project development and strengthening the foundation for energy efficiency and energy access through smarter energy policy. We believe it is precisely this healthy marriage of advanced technology and smart policy that will lead to the kinds of breakthroughs that we are all and the world is looking for. In ADB's publication, Meeting Asia's Infrastructure Needs, we called on developing Asia to invest $26 trillion from 2016 to 2030, asking for no less than $1.7 trillion per year in infrastructure investment to sustain Asia's growth momentum and poverty and respond to climate change. The power sector alone requires $14.7 trillion in investment from now until 2030. And yet, this increasing demand cannot be met by simply building new infrastructure or developing new energy sources. Producing energy for more than the 3.7 billion people in developing Asia without destroying the climate will perhaps be the defining challenge of our generation. But while this challenge is grave, climate change provides opportunities for us to act and to gain from these actions. Many of you know the Chinese word for crisis contains two characters, one for danger and the other for opportunity. We are seeing innovative solutions cropping up in our region, aided by the right kinds of policies, particularly government policies to curb global warming and reduce air pollution, which many of us know is the driving force behind the clean energy revolution, and aided by the falling prices of solar panels and wind turbines. And yet we all know no single piece of legislation, no single technology will solve it all. We aspire for this forum to facilitate this interplay of smart policy and smart technology, so vital to enable continued clean energy breakthroughs that will match the scale of the climate change challenge. As one of the world's most vulnerable regions and a growing emitter of greenhouse gases, Asia needs to continue to lead the fight against climate change. Already we are seeing our economies are emerging leaders in clean energy technology, energy efficiency, and innovative policies that are helping to drive a shift to a more sustainable future. And in order for Asia to lead, we're going to need new ideas and insights. We're going to need to reinvent and apply new business models, many of which we will hope to harvest from you in the next few days of exchange and conversation among us. Now, it is often said that the way a society imagines its future matters, and who gets to do the imagining matters as well. Our forum aims to spread the tools with which to imagine a world where clean energy is attractive enough that many would welcome it, and in so doing, help to advance a more sustainable future for us all. Thank you, and please join me in welcoming President Nakao to deliver his opening remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and honored guests, welcome to the Asia Clean Energy Forum 2017. To begin, I'd like to thank the co-organizers of this year's forum, the United States Agency for International Development and the Korean Energy Agency for their continuing partnership and close cooperation with ADB. The theme of our 2070 forum is "The Future is Here, Achieving Universal Access and Climate Targets." This theme is well aligned with ADB's 50th anniversary. Over the course of last half-century, ADB has seen the Asia and Pacific region transform from a region with a high poverty to a region of growth and innovation, a region that is responsible for a third of the world's GDP and half of world economic growth. Since its establishment in 1966, ADB has invested over $60 billion in the energy sector, almost 25% of our overall lending of $270 billion. ADB has helped countries meet their energy needs, combining its finance and knowledge. But in developing Asia, with a population of 3.7 billion, there are still 400 million people without access to electricity, and over 2 billion people without clean energy for cooking. Moreover, many Asian countries are facing severe air pollution problems and extreme events as a result of climate change. ADB and its member countries must pursue SDG 7 on ensuring universal access to sustainable energy, SDG 13 on addressing climate change, and the Paris COP21 agreement. In 2016, ADB invested a total of $4 billion in energy, of which $2.1 billion was for clean energy. These clean energy investments support solar, wind, hydro, renewable mini-grids, and energy efficiency projects for buildings and the industrial sector. Other ADB energy investments include distribution and transmission grids for traditional generation, gas fields in Azerbaijan, and gas pipelines and gas-fired power plants in Bangladesh. Let me give you a few recent examples of ADB-supported projects in clean energy using innovative financing and advanced technologies. First one, ADB approved last year a $5 million equity investment in American venture company with advanced battery technology to provide long-duration battery storage solutions in Indonesia. The technology, protected by over 219 patents, will be used in renewable energy-based microgrids that require long-duration discharge. The power will support households as well as telecom towers in remote areas. The second example is about the first climate bond in Asia. In 2016, ADB provided credit enhancement in the form of a guarantee of 75% of principal and interest to a $225 million local currency bond issued by AP Renewables, a Philippine renewable energy company. The bond was for the Tiwi Macban geothermal energy facilities in southern Luzon and certified by the Climate Bonds Initiative as the first ADB climate bond. The third example is about mobilizing significant private sector resources. In late 2016, ADB approved a loan of $150 million to help Shanxi provincial government in China to establish a clean energy financing platform to channel funds to energy saving and emission reduction projects through lending, credit guarantees, and leasing. It will also partner with the commercial banks. The total investment mobilized by the platform is estimated to be the range of $1.5 billion vis-a-vis $150 million from us. Fourth, ADB is introducing streamlined procedures for the 11 small Pacific Island countries to process small, valuable, renewable energy projects faster with a lower transition cost. Later this month, ADB's board of directors will discuss a financing facility of $750 million to support a series of renewable energy projects in these countries. This year's forum focuses on energy efficiency, renewable energy, energy access, and the cross-cutting theme of innovation and planning for future clean energy system. I'd like to focus for a moment directly on innovation and high-level technology. Innovation is already taking place more rapidly than many people expect. Renewable energy costs have been declining dramatically. Efficiency gains from insulating buildings are substantial. Lighter and stronger materials also reduce energy usage. High-level technologies can enable us to meet energy needs and climate change mitigation objectives in parallel. ADB is increasing its efforts to develop and deploy more advanced technologies in the region, especially in the energy sector, including smart grids, mass energy storage, intelligent transport systems, smart cities, waste-to-energy technology, and remote sensing technology. ADB is also addressing growing interest of countries in the durability and life cycle cost of infrastructure projects. Many countries in Asia are moving toward middle-income status or above, and they have the capacity to absorb and develop high-level technologies. And many innovative companies across the world, including in emerging economies, are keen to support Asia's dynamic transformation through their technologies. ADB has already initiated reforms in our business processes for project preparation and procurement to promote the greater use of advanced technologies. In order to promote the integration of high-level technology and innovative solutions in project design and implementation, ADB is establishing a trust fund. ADB has already mobilized $40 million from Japan as the first contributor. This high-level technology fund, which will be operational by July, will provide grants for feasibility study, detailed designs, and pilot and demonstration activities. Pakistan has already expressed interest in the area of large-scale battery storage to integrate solar and wind energy into the grid. Ladies and gentlemen, ADB pledges to continue to innovate and build upon the work we have accomplished thus far. ADB will continue to support knowledge-sharing opportunities such as this forum with 1,500 participants. I hope that this week, clean energy experts from the private sector, academia, government, and international organizations will exchange experiences, learn from the latest developments, and share the common goal of achieving universal access and climate targets. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Nakao, for those very inspiring words and reiterating ADB's continuing commitment to clean energy. I would now like to introduce the representative of our longtime co-organizer of the forum, the United States Agency for International Development. As the mission director for USAID Pakistan, he oversees a multi-billion-dollar portfolio in energy, governance, agriculture, health, and education sectors. Pakistan is its latest posting in a career spanning several decades. which has seen him taking a lead role in USAID's development efforts in countries from Afghanistan, the Philippines, Indonesia, and many more across the globe, through the design and guidance of activities in support of the environment, energy development, and economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jerry Bisson, Mission Director for USAID Pakistan.
Mga kaibigan, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Masaya ako bumalik sa Philippines, ang bansa na pag-ibig ko. I love the Philippines, what can I say? It is a pleasure to be back in the Philippines, a country dear to my heart. I'd like to first thank our distinguished colleagues from the Asian Development Bank, particularly President Nakao, for organizing and hosting this important forum, the Korean Energy Agency for co-organizing this event, and for your leadership in clean energy. And most importantly, the members of the Asia Clean Energy community here today who are transforming the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the United States Agency for International Development, I'm delighted to open this year's forum and celebrate 12 years of growth. ASEF has become the preeminent clean energy event in the region, and we are grateful for all of your participation in making the forum so successful. I would like to highlight some key trends in the sector, provide an overview of USAID's approach, and then conclude with some remarks about this event's relevance to the region. Asia is in the midst of a major energy transformation, shaped by falling costs for renewable power generation, ambitious national clean energy targets, and some game-changing technologies. Costs of solar panels have been falling so quickly that combined with their rapid installation time, solar is becoming one of the lower-cost power generation options. In addition, the costs of financing solar power in Asia have dropped 28% per year, with decreases expected to continue. One of the biggest trends globally is a shift from feed-in tariffs that are fixed to renewable energy auctions. The size and pace of renewable energy auctions have increased dramatically, from an average of about 3 to 5 gigawatts back in 2012 to 32 gigawatts in 2016. This has placed significant downward pressure on the price for installing solar power. We had an enlightening deep dive workshop earlier today on auctions with presentations on experiences from Brazil, South Africa, and other countries. During this week, we will discuss many game-changing disruptions, as well as developments in energy technology, business applications, and finance. These include lower-cost technologies, more efficient materials and applications, and cheaper and smarter methods of energy storage. I want to bring two to your attention. We're in the middle of a transition that could be very disruptive to businesses. The Internet of Electricity is an area that will increase the role of the Internet and big data and could possibly have a negative impact on traditional utilities. Yesterday, many of you attended a deep dive workshop on the Internet of Things. This is already happening. A senior energy executive laid out a compelling vision. He said, "The future of the electricity system will form an intelligent plug-and-play electricity grid in which every device down to our solar cells on the roof and our coffee machines in the kitchen can communicate and adapt for an overall optimized generation, grid, and demand performance." There are some other new information technology tools, such as blockchains and digital currencies. In short, these will create a public ledger and method for settling transactions related to grid service with extremely low transaction costs. In Asia, USAID supports a wide range of energy initiatives that focus on implementation and achieving concrete results in terms of investment, especially from the private sector. One such program is the Private Financing Advisory Network, known as PFAN. PFAN works across Asia and globally by identifying energy project developers, mentoring them, and connecting them with sources of financing. Through this program, we have helped to catalyze more than $1.2 billion of investment globally, with more than 900 million of that in Asia. PFAN has also been working on a gender-based approach to financing and has recently issued a call for proposals from women-led businesses and entrepreneurs. And 4 of these women will be presenting in a session here on Friday morning called Voices from the Grassroots. A USAID regional program works with countries in the Mekong region and more broadly across Asia to increase the grid-connected renewable energy. We are applying a building blocks approach, and this includes 5 areas: improved planning, renewable energy zones, competitive procurement, grid integration, and capital mobilization. We also invest in a wide range of bilateral energy programs, such as in the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan. Many of the partners implementing these programs are here this week, along with their government, private sector, and civil society counterparts. In Pakistan, USAID helped to add over 2,800 megawatts of generation and transmission capacity that benefited over 33 million Pakistanis. USAID plans to add another 3,000 megawatts over the next 5 years through private sector investment. The Philippine government and USAID partnered to mobilize more than $200 million in clean energy investments over the last 3 years that created 140 megawatts of newly installed capacity from biomass, solar, and hydro. Activities have also integrated more renewable energy into the grid by establishing an online energy business permitting and monitoring system, by advancing demand-side management in commercial establishments, and installing smart grid technology and distribution utilities. I would like to conclude my remarks by talking about you, or rather us. All of us here in this room collectively make up the Asia Clean Energy Forum. At ACEP's first forum 12 years ago, there were just 75 people. And I'd like to ask for a show of hands that who was at that meeting? Is there anybody in this room who was at that meeting? I do recognize a few people I'd like to call out. Samuel Tomiwa, and I know Peter DuPont was there. And so those that have been involved in organizing this for the past 12 years, congratulations. Your passion is recognized. At that time, discussion centered around the possibilities of scaling up energy efficiency and renewable energy, and what it would take to make that happen. And the Asian Development Bank has been leading the way. As we just heard from President Nakao, ADB has truly re-engineered the way it approaches the energy sector. With balanced representation from the private sector, civil society, and academia, ACEP's thought leadership has made this event a success. Together, we are generating significant partnerships, leveraging resources, and sharing innovative ideas. There are many exciting sessions scheduled in the next few days, and I encourage you to attend, ask questions, network, and meet as many of the fascinating innovators as you can. So on behalf of USAID, I'd like to close by wishing you the very best as you kick off this week's discussion. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Mr. Bisson. On behalf of the Asia Clean Energy Forum community, I would like to thank USAID especially for their continuing support for the forum for the last 12 years and hopefully another 12 years to come. I would now like to introduce another key partner and a co-organizer which has contributed significantly to this forum. That is Korea Energy Agency. Mr. Nam-Hoon, President and CEO of the Korea Energy Agency, has had an illustrious career both in the public and private sectors in the Republic of Korea. He worked extensively for the Ministry of Knowledge, Economy, Industry, Trade and Energy, and rose to become the Senior Presidential Secretary of the Ministry before becoming the President and CEO of the Korea Industrial Complex Corporation. Now he is the head of Korea Energy Agency, which leads efforts for efficient and rational energy use in the Republic of Korea as well as in other countries, including some of the ADB DMCs. KEA is working with ADB. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Nam-Hoon, President and CEO of the Korea Energy Agency.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to join Mr. Takehiko Nakao, the President of Asia Development Bank, and Mr. Jerry Bisson, Mission Director for Pakistan USAID, in warmly welcome all participants to the Asia Clean Energy Forum 2017. Before, I also would like to express my deep gratitude to all distinguished policymakers, businessmen, and experts for sharing your valuable time today, and I extend my appreciation to the staff and management who have made today's valuable event possible. We are very lucky to build on our strong partnership with ADB since 2012. And we are very proud to co-host the Asia Clean Energy Forum for the third time and to contribute to the premier central platform that stages the best clean energy technologies and sustainable development practice in Asia. I believe this year's forum is all the more timely against the backdrop of a massive transition in the global energy paradigm, which seems to be scaling up to an energy revolution. There are two big dimensions to this paradigm shift. One is the big shift away from fossil fuels and towards clean energy sources, based on stronger global efforts for carbon reductions and revolutionary technological progress. The other is a transition to a smarter, more efficient energy system driven by the fourth industrial revolution based on ICT technologies. With low carbon, clean energy, and smart energy technologies combined, we are experiencing a huge force that brings forward the future of eco-friendly and sustainable energy. First, the global move towards low carbon, clean energy sources has been accelerated when 196 nations unanimously came together towards a bottom-up climate change approach since the historical adoption of the Paris Agreement 2 years ago. Renewables are gaining cost competitiveness based on rapid technology progress and cost reductions. According to the UNEP, among the additional power of 259 gigawatts installed worldwide in 2016, renewable energy power plants accounted for nearly 60%, and this figure is expected to reach almost 80% by the year 2030. IEA reports that in the generation sector, global investment in renewable energy sources was 3 times greater than that of fossil fuel, reaching almost $300 billion in 2015. And what's important to note is that the investment comes not only from advanced countries, but from many developing countries in Asia, including China and India. The volatility of renewables is no longer a barrier thanks to the energy storage system, which is also set to grow in market size by 32% every year, reaching $35 billion by the year 2025 from the about $3 billion in 2016. ESS is especially essential in microgrids, a combination of renewables and ESS, which enables energy independence in islands, rural areas, and remote regions. Korea is home to some of the best ESS suppliers, and the value of ESS has been fully showcased in Korea's 2 energy models: the energy independent islands and the eco-friendly energy town. The Energy Independent Islands model was tested in our joint pilot project with ADB in Philippines, Cobrad Island near Rambulan, where we installed a small-scale microgrid based on solar PV and ESS. Since the installation, the island accommodates more refrigerators for the island's fishing industry and more machineries for their marble industry, enabling economic growth and higher quality of life. The eco-friendly energy town is a model where renewable energy transforms NIMBY, not in my backyard, facilities. Heat from waste incinerators supplies heat for hot water, while biogas from sewage treatment systems supply gas for local communities, or turn the turbine for power generation, which can be consumed or stored and sold using ESS system. These two Korean models tap into the power of renewable energy sources and transforms unwanted facilities, vitalizing isolated areas and local communities. We have a joint project ongoing in Laos, Ethiopia, and Mongolia, and we look forward to sharing these successful models with the other countries in Asia Pacific in the future. In addition to renewable energy and ESS microgrids, another key that opens the path to a low-carbon economy and closer to our climate goals is electrical vehicles. Last year, the number of electrical vehicles sold worldwide saw remarkable growth, surpassing 2 million, recording 40% higher than that the previous year. Considering the future targets set by policymakers and automakers, increasing number of charging stations, and longer driving range per single charge, we expect that the world will roll out 40 to 65 million electric vehicles by the year 2025. In April this year, the young 14-year-old electrical vehicle maker Tesla overtook the 114-year-old traditional car maker Ford in terms of market value. And in this symbolic event, we realized how close the future of electric vehicles had advanced. This applies to the fourth industrial revolution as well. Core technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, Internet of Things, big data, and artificial intelligence in the energy sector are creating a thematic shift in the energy paradigm, and now we can produce, store, and consume energy with higher efficiency. In particular, smart grids combine ICT with energy grids and ESS and enables real-time, two-way data exchange and analysis, optimizing energy efficiency in utility services. Smart grids is also essential in securing the reliability of renewable energy supply when integrated with electric grids. This is why the market size of smart grids is set to triple from $40 billion in 2014 to $120 billion by 2020. And heavy investment is focused on smart meters and pilot projects that lay the infrastructure for smart grids. Close cooperation in pilot project and information exchange will bring the future of reliable, efficient smart grids much closer. The Korean government joined the global efforts in climate change by setting a climate goal of reducing 37% of carbon emissions from PAU level by the year 2030. To achieve this goal, Korea invests in new energy industry initiative, which amounts to $40 billion from the year 2016 to 2020 in the areas of renewable energy, smart grids, ESS, and electrical vehicles. This includes supplying smart meters to 22 million households and rolling out 250,000 electrical vehicles by the year 2020. Korea's commitment in this trend will grow stronger as Korea's new government launched in May will accelerate the transition towards renewable energy by increasing the renewable energy generation ratio from current 7% today to 20% by the year 2030. For the past 3 decades, Korea Energy Agency has been at the forefront of securing a low-carbon, sustainable energy paradigm, and we are always ready to share our know-hows and knowledge, especially in the new energy industries. To this end, I hope KEA's new knowledge partnership agreement with ADB, based on $3 billion parallel co-financing, contributes to higher energy efficiency and new energy industries in South Asia. Also gathered here today, we have Korea's best clean technology companies and experts who are willing to share their experience and knowledge in this week's forum. I sincerely hope this forum opens new opportunities for all participants and gathers great insights to unlock the future of a low-carbon, smart, and sustainable energy, which may already be here with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan. Again, on behalf of the forum and ADB, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Korea Energy Agency for its partnership and support in the forum. Now, before we move on, I think it's time that I quickly run through some of the house rules according to the agenda. Can I have the presentation, please? Okay. I quickly run through the house rules. As you know, the main forum runs in zones A to D of the auditorium, and we will have 4 tracks across 3 days, in fact 2.5 days. Track topics will span entire forum, and obviously knowledge networking session, which is quite interesting, will return. And then all participants and speakers, please keep in mind we will scan all participants upon the entry into the auditorium sections. Please do not bring food or drinks. And the speakers, please be there at the secretariat about 20 minutes before your session. And sponsored participants, please get in touch with Ms. Donna. And when it comes to lunches, please keep in mind from 12:30 to 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And on Thursday, a slight change in the lunchtime from 1 to 2:30. And I will remind you that we have an eminent speakers forum on Thursday from 10 to 11:30. And please make sure that you participate in that. And we will have more announcements as we go along. And then we will have receptions tonight and tomorrow, sponsored by ADB and USAID. And forum materials, most presentations will be readily available at the touchscreen stations in the auditorium hallway. And all presentations will be available next week on the Asia Clean Energy Forum website. And we have the Wi-Fi connections. As you can see in your ID badges, you see your unique Wi-Fi password. And you can use your guidebook to stay connected and to get your forum latest updates. Please remember, for security purposes, please do not leave your personal items unattended. The rooms may be reconfigured from time to time depending on the sessions. And please make use of ADB smoking lounges in our new atrium if you really smoke. And check the message board. And once again, we'll be having a raffle draw for iPads and in the closing plenary. Therefore, please make sure that you attend the closing plenary and be there until the closing of the sessions. And with that brief note on the house rules, let me now go back to the program. We now proceed to the scene setter of the 2017 forum. Though the majority of us are energy experts, our specializations and the areas of focus may limit our views on the big picture. To provide a global view of clean energy, we requested Vivian Foster, the global lead and practice manager, energy and extractives of the World Bank Group, to enlighten us. Vivian is here representing the Sustainable Energy for All initiative, and specifically the team putting together next iteration of its global tracking framework document, which specifically tracks the attainment of 2030 energy goals and Millennium Development Goal number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vivian Foster.